we learn what is force and some examples of force and different types of force. So now we are going to learn something related to force, that is pressure. Okay? Then do you know what is pressure? Do you know? Pressure is the force acting on a surface in unit area. Pressure is the force acting on a unit area of a surface. Okay? Then, using this, how can we write an equation for pressure? We know that pressure is the force acting on a unit area of surface. That is, pressure is equal to force by area. Here, for computing pressure, we only consider the forces which acting perpendicular to the surface. It's the surface of area of cross section A. It is the force acting perpendicular to the surface. For computing pressure, we only consider the forces which acting perpendicular to the surface. That means 90 degree. Then, how can we write the unit of pressure? What is the SI unit of force? SI unit of force is Newton. Then, what is the SI unit of area? SI unit of area is meter square. So, the unit of pressure is Newton per meter square. And also, it's also called as Pascal. Pascal is denoted by PA, capital letter P and small letter A. That is, 1 Pascal is equal to Newton per meter square, which is the unit of pressure. We know that pressure is the force acting on a surface in unit area, and pressure is equal to force by area. Here the unit of force is Newton and the unit of area is meter square. So the unit of pressure is Newton per meter square. And the Newton per meter square is also termed as Pascal. 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. Okay. Then the pressure depends on some factors. Can you see what are the factors affecting pressure? You can easily say the factors affecting pressure from this equation. Yes, you are right. The factors affecting pressure are force and area. Force and area are the two factors that affecting pressure. How the force affecting pressure? Here, greater the force applied, more will be the pressure, because the pressure is directly proportional to the force. So, the greater the force, more will be the pressure. Then, greater the area, the pressure will be less, because the pressure is inversely proportional to area. So, greater the area, the pressure will be less. Okay, is it clear? Then, we can see some examples of using pressure.
The pressure has great influence on our daily life. Let's see some examples of using high pressure. A sharp nail has a very small surface area acting edge so that high pressure can be exerted to cut the meat. And then nails, needles and pins have very sharp ends with very small surface areas. When a force is applied to the head of a nail, the pressure will be the pressure will drive its sharp end into the piece of wood easily. So, these sharp edges or pointed edges have small surface area and hence impart great pressure. Now, let's see some examples of using low pressure in our life. Skins have a large area to reduce the pressure on the snow so that they do not sink in too far. Then, a tractor moving on a soft ground has wide tires to reduce the pressure on the ground so that they will not sink into the ground. Also, a wide shoulder pad of a heavy bag will reduce the pressure exerted on the shoulder of the person carrying the bag.
This is an iron nail. An iron nail has two edges. One end is very sharp, which is having very small surface area, and the other end is flattened, one which is having larger surface area. So, we use this sharp edge to pierce iron nail into the wall. Why we are using this side? Why don't we use this side for? It is not possible, isn't it? Because as the surface area is lower, when we hammer here, the pressure applied on this point will be greater because it is having lesser surface area. So, smaller the surface area will impart greater pressure for the same amount of force. So, we are using this very sharp edge for piercing this iron nail into the wall. The second example is that of a knife. A knife has two edges. One end is very sharp and the other end is a blunt area. This sharp edge we are using for cutting vegetables, fruits, etc. When we closely observe a knife, then we can understand that the sharp end has lower surface area or smaller surface area than the blunt side. That is why the sharp edge exerts more pressure on objects. What do you have understand from these activities? Yes, smaller the surface area will impart greater pressure. That is, smaller the surface area will impart greater pressure for the same amount of force. All solid will exert pressure. If you keep a book like this on a table, due to the weight of this book, a pressure is exerted on this table. Like this, all the solids exert some pressure due to their weight. Not only solids, liquids also exert pressure. We know that the liquid has mass, so it exerts pressure. And taking a bottle containing liquid, we know that the oil is in liquid state, okay? And here the oil exert pressure in downwards and also to the sideways, and the pressure exerted at the lower side will be greater due to the weight of the liquid above this, okay? So, the pressure exerted by the liquid in the lower part will be greater, okay? Why do the liquid exert pressure? We know that the liquid has mass because of the attractive force of the earth, that is due to the gravitational force. Hence, we saw that the liquid exert pressure in all directions. Then, we can do some activities to make this clear. Now, take a plastic bottle like this, and I have put some holes in the bottle at the same height from the bottom of the bottle. Then, now I am going to fill some water into the bottle. Observe what's happening. Yes, streams of water throwing out the hole. You can clearly notice that the stream of water fall at the same distance from the bottle. This proves that the liquid exert pressure in all direction at a particular depth. Okay. Here streams of water thrown out of the hole and the stream of water fall at the same distance from the bottle. This proves that liquid exert equal pressure in all directions at the same depth. From this activity, we clear that the liquid exerts equal pressure in all the directions at a particular depth.
Let's do another one to understand some more concept about liquid pressure. Take a transparent glass tube or a pipe. Also take a good quality rubber balloon. Stretch the rubber balloon at one end of the pipe. Now ask your friend to pour water into this tube. As the level of water increases in this tube, the balloon at the end will start bulging. Why? That is due to the pressure exerted by liquid taken on the tube. When the level of water in the tube increases, the pressure will also increases and thereby the balloon will bulge more. From this, we can understand that pressure exerted by water at the bottom of the container depends on the height of its column.
What do you understand from this? That means pressure exerted by water at the bottom of the container depends on the height of its column. What? The pressure exerted by water at the bottom of the container depends on the height of its column.
Now, let's see another one to show that liquid exert pressure on walls. Take a bottle filled with a small glass tube at one end. Stretch a rubber balloon at the end of the tube. Now fill the bottle with water. You can see the bottom at the end will start. You can see the balloon at the end will start bulging. When the level of water increases in the bottle, the pressure will also increases towards the sidewise and the balloon will bulge more. That means the liquid exert pressure on the directions. On all directions, liquid exert pressure. That is, liquid not only exert pressure downwards but also exert pressure to the wall of the container.
We studied about solid pressure and liquid pressure. Then now we are going to learn about atmospheric pressure. Okay? We know that the air is present everywhere around us in our surrounding. And this air exerts a pressure and this is called atmospheric pressure. What is atmospheric pressure? The pressure exerted by air is called atmospheric pressure. We came to the end of our chapter, force and pressure. We learned about what is force and some examples of force and different types of force. And then we look what is pressure and solid pressure, liquid pressure, and then last atmospheric pressure. Okay, so students, watch the video lessons regularly and repeatedly for more understanding. And also, don't forget to read your textbook thoroughly. Then only you can score very good marks in the coming examination. I hope you all will do this. Thank you. Have a nice day.